It's curly, it's kind of frizzy. So yeah, a lot of people like it. And see, this is why I do the the hair after, because with the hair products and stuff, it'll end up taking all that grayish out. I'm gonna heat up my heating tool, get a clip, and I'll do the voiceover right. By the way, this is gonna be without any products or anything like that, because I do not have hairspray, and I don't really want to, you know, you're not always gonna have hairspray, so this is like an emergency situation. Think of it as that. So imagine we don't have any hairspray, it's an emergency. What do we do? First off, don't let your hair dry too much. Like this, I let it room temperature dry. Like this is, it's dry, but you know, it still has that cold feeling. You do want that cold feeling to your hair. So I'm gonna use a rubber comb. These are a little bit shinier than a regular comb. Rubber combs do not melt when they are used by a straightening iron, and this straightening iron is by Diane by From. There you go. I've had this since beauty school and I've used it ever since. Another one that's really good is the Paul Mitchell one. And one last thing, I also put products in my hair right after I right after I got out from the shower. I put product in my hair, and now I'm doing this. So there's been products sitting in my hair. So yeah, and if you want, you can do another spritz of heat protectant and that'll be fine. I really want it. I don't oh! Why didn't you tell me it was all shaken up? I'm all sticky now. I gotta go wash my hands. I kind of look like I have one of those, like, those fans, you know, when you're in school, you go boom, 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 the fans. That's what that looks like in the back. That's what it looks like to me anyways. Kind of cracks me up because it brings me back. Now we're gonna get started with the hair. So as we are going to do a holiday kind of curl, ow, and I feel like you really don't need a lot of product for this. Stop! You can hear it! Stop!
Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter!
This ain't even on. The reason why we have that cold feeling is because when you curl it, if it has that cold feeling to it, it still has moisture in it. So once you curl it with the heat, it actually locks it in place more than it would if you had hairspray. And if your hair's too dry, it will just fall flat and look unhealthy. So you want moisture. Okay, there it goes. So we're gonna go to the root, curl it, but we are going to press down. And it's kind of like a down motion because you still want the hair to go through. And there you go. Do that one more time, except we're gonna just do it. That's a little bit close to what I wanted. Yeah. We're not looking for perfection, just kind of like loose, barely done here, you know what I mean? The ear, pick out the straight, or the hair that's not done yet. And we're gonna kind of curl this one forward, like it's gonna curl back, but we're pushing forward with it. But we're gonna go forward. You have to be extra and bring your mirror. Here we go. And we're gonna do that one more time to flatten it out a little. It's like if the curl is too kinky, just run through it with your flat iron just a couple of times and it'll all be good. There we go. I like it when it kind of curls in, not flips out. Okay, so now that you saw that, it's pretty much the same all around. You just make sure you're curling down and pushing down because you don't want them to too curly or anything. When you push it down, it kind of gives it a beach wave effect. So, for one, if you want loose curls, use this little thing. I wouldn't use a paddle brush. A paddle brush can be a little bit too rough on the curls, or I say rough on the curls, but it'll straighten it out a little bit too much. I like using these wider tooth combs because it's like running your fingers through it. Okay, so each curl is still being curled away from the face, but the tension towards the bottom, like from my ears down, I was curling away from the face but pushing forward. As you get to the top, you still want to curl away from the face, but you want to push it back for volume. It sounds confusing, but this is how it makes sense in my head. It might make sense to anybody else, but yeah, that's how I say it. You know, when you push it forward, it brings the curls forward, and when you push it back, it brings the curls back. So you're just directing where you want the curls. It's kind of like, you know, controlling your hair how you want it to be instead of your hair controlling what it wants to do. Okay, and that's how I get my curly hair without any hairspray. So as long as you have it a little moist, which I know a lot of people hate that word, but if you have it a little bit of that cold feeling to your hair, it means it still has moisture in your hair, so you're gonna be all good. And my hair, if you're wanting to know how it's cut, the layers have grown out. The only thing that are like layering in my hair would have to be the what is it? In the front, it is very whatchamacallit, I would say tapered, but what is it called? It's face framed around the face. So I don't get the razor or anything. The razor can make your hair look even more frizzy. Sorry. And what I do is I'll get my hair when it's straight and I'll put it like this and I'll cut into it, being shorter up here and longer down there. But I kind of create layers in the front. If you ask your hairdresser to do like a face frame, and you know, they'll know what you're talking about, so, and they'll help you get this kind of look. And the face framing gives that layery look with the curls on the side, but it doesn't make your hair look thin. So as you can see right here, it still looks very thick and very full. It's just the way I get these layers is the face framing. So, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more than y'all did. But yes, this is definitely my holiday go-to hair, and it's definitely gotten a lot longer.